Welcome back to another episode of the Broad Street Sports Podcast featuring Zachary Chabey, and today I'm going to be giving you a little recap of some NBA and NHL games I missed. I know I've been recording shorts, but I just want to catch you guys up on some of the games I was missing. So first and foremost, I'm going to start with the NBA. Let's go back to Sunday. Sunday, the Pacers had the opportunity to go up 3-0 on the New York Knicks, and they didn't. The Knicks had a Pacers-like comeback and were able to win the game 106-100. Karl Anthony Towns finally showed some strides in this series, putting up 24 and 15 and completely controlling the fourth quarter for the Knicks, ultimately keeping their season alive, in my opinion, scoring 36 points in the fourth quarter that the Knicks did. Overall, just a great win for the Knicks. They play again tonight, them and the Pacers, in Game 4 in Indiana on TNT at 8 p.m. This series is still very much alive for New York, but I feel like tonight is another must-win, because if Indiana goes out and wins tonight against the Knicks, going back to Madison Square Garden, especially away, where the Pacers have been one of the best teams, if not the best team away in this entire playoffs, this Knicks season might be over before it actually is officially over, in my honest opinion. But overall, for the Knicks, it was a great win, and the Pacers, it was a game that they should have won, but they lost it in a way that they usually win a game, coming back, storming back in a preposterous way, and the Knicks just were able to do that in a great fashion and played great offense, and their defense really came to play in the fourth quarter, only allowing 20 points. It got better for them as time went on, especially having a weak second quarter, and it helped having a strong second half. But yesterday's game might have been the game of the playoffs, in my opinion. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder ended up winning by 2 points, going up 3-1 in the series. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was a rebound away from having a triple-double, but still dropped a 40 bomb in Game 4 of the NBA Western Conference Finals. This guy is a superstar. He could be the future of our league. And for the Timberwolves, it was a tough loss. They got exactly what they needed. They got a great Nickeil Alexander-Walker game. They got great out of Dante DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels. If you said before the game that those three gave you combined 66, 67 points, you thought the Timberwolves would have won in tremendous fashion the way they did in Game 3. But the Thunder just came to play, and the big three, Shai, Chet, and J-Dub, all came to play. Just like I said, Shai had 40. I think J-Dub had about 34, and then Chet 21, and played that center role to perfection. He was absolutely great on the defensive end and was a big reason why the Thunder were able to win this game. And for the Timberwolves, I know everyone's pointing at Anthony Edwards, but at the same time, it's not like he put up that many shots. He was 5 of 14. He only put up 14 shots on the night. The big story, I think, for the Timberwolves, in my opinion, were their free throws. A lot of players missed free throws for them, and it shows in the score. They lost by 2 points. Those free throws, I feel like, can loom large, because losing such a close game, you look back at what lost you the game, and I feel like that's what lost them the game, because you got to make free throws in today's NBA, especially in the playoffs, because it always seems to come back to bite you if you don't, and it always seems to benefit you more if you do. So I feel like the Timberwolves, that was the biggest reason they lost, not the way Anthony Edwards played, more the way they shot their three throws. And for the Thunder, I like to say they're showing that like championship MO, but they're a young team, and they're already getting this playoff experience. They're already getting this grind that they have to go through. They just came off a 7-game series against the champions that from 2 years ago, and Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and all them in the Nuggets, and they're showing that championship MO this early. This Thunder team is a team to look out for and could easily win the championship this year, especially if they win tomorrow night. But the Timberwolves are going to have their A game against the Thunder tomorrow if they want to keep the season and the series alive. So it definitely should be interesting. But like I said, game of the year so far in the playoffs, I think, my honest opinion. That's how I feel. So moving on to today's game, though, like I kind of mentioned, the Pacers and the Knicks at 8 p.m. on TNT. I think it's going to be another great game. If Indiana can play their style, I think it's going to be an Indiana win. But New York also has a chance. But I feel like this is a game. They need another Jalen Brunson 40 bomb if they want to win this game. And they need great defense out of Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. And if Josh Hart can play, I know he's been up and down. And also for the Pacers, Aaron Nesmith is a game-time decision. They need him, I feel like, tonight if they have any chance of winning the game. The way he's been shooting the ball has been absolutely insane. And his tenacious defense, the way he just completely annihilates Jalen Brunson, gets him so frustrated. That's the type of defensive presence they need, and I feel like it'd be great for them if they have him, and they definitely need him, I think, in my opinion, to win this game. And for the Knicks, they got to play their style of basketball, and if they can get lucky, have another win like they did. But the Knicks, what I've seen from them this season, they got to get out to a hot start and keep that lead throughout the game until the very end and not let the Pacers stay in this game, because if you let the Pacers stay in the game, they're going to win the game. It's just shown this entire playoffs. I like to say it's going to be different, but it's not. The Pacers have shown throughout this playoffs, if you keep them in the game, they're not going to make you sorry for your decision. They're going to bite right back. Pretty much simple as that. Like they're basically going to play their style of basketball. The way they're able to play late in the games is absolutely amazing, in my opinion. But overall, just for the Pacers, play their style of basketball and most likely win this game. But the Knicks, I feel like they need to throw a lot out. Like I feel like the Knicks have more pressure than the Pacers in this series, because I feel like the Pacers still have control of the series. Because if you realistically think about it, like I said, the Pacers had game three in control and should have won to go on 3-0. So I feel like the advantage and the momentum is still on the Pacers side, but the Knicks can swing it back to them and tie it 2-2, sending it back to New York. But it should be interesting to say the least. So, but moving on to the NHL side. Starting with Sunday's game, we had Edmonton and Dallas play in Game 3 after both teams were tied. Edmonton obviously had that frustrating Game 1 where they were up 3-1 going into the third period, and they choked it. And then responding well with the 3-0 win in Game 2. But Edmonton just came out storming in this game. They played absolutely amazing and were able to go up 2-1 in the series. Connor McJesus, in my opinion, one of the best players, if not the best player in the NHL right now, had 2 goals. Skinner was great. Their offense was great, and their defense is great, especially Evan Bouchard. The way he's able to play on the offensive defensive end is absolutely phenomenal. And Skinner, he played a great game, like I said, 33 saves. That's absolutely phenomenal. And just to shut down this Dallas offense has been one of the hottest in the playoffs was a great sign. So, great win for Edmonton. They play tonight again, trying to go up 3-1 in this series and trying to get back to the Cup final, which will most likely be facing, I think, in my opinion, a rematch of who they had to face last year in the Florida Panthers. Speaking of the Florida Panthers, they were not able to close out the series against the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes actually made history. They were able to finally win a playoff game. They snapped a 15-game losing streak in the Eastern Conference Finals to stay alive and keep their season going. They played a great overall game. They scored 1 goal and then got 2 empty netters. Their goalie, Frederik Andersen, really didn't have to do much. He only had 20 saves, and Bobrovsky, even though he allowed to go, he's still the best goalie in the playoffs and in the league. He had 25 saves. He's one of the best to do it, and he's the reason they kind of won the championship this year and the reason they can probably win it again this year. The way he's just able to play as a goaltender, it's very rare you see out of these goalies, and especially at his age, the way he's still playing, it's absolutely tremendous. So, but great win for the Hurricanes to keep their season alive, but if I'm being honest with you, this series is over. It's been over ever since Florida went up 2-0, going back to Florida and eventually going up 3-0. It'd be very interesting if Carolina could do it. We've only seen one team give Florida a fight, and it was Edmonton last year. So Hurricanes are going to have to try to see what Edmonton did last year to get back in that series to see if they want to keep their season alive. So, but moving on to today's game, like I mentioned, we had the Stars and the Oilers. The Oilers trying to go up 3-1 against the Stars. The Stars, they need to get more than 1 goal this game. It's simple as that. The Oilers' offense is way too good to be shut out consistently. I know they scored 6, but they're going to go fighting again. And Dallas, they also have a good offensive well with Mikko Rantanen, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin. And Hintz and all those guys. Like they gotta find a way. And Matt Duchene obviously too. But overall, they gotta find a way to get out there and win the game and get the series back to Dallas 2-2, because if I'm not mistaken, this was the conference finals matchup. It's a rematch of last year's, and Dallas, it seems like they're losing games in the same style fashion they lost last year to Edmonton, and they can't have that happen again. Like, it's literally a repeat of last year. Like, you got to find a way to change your ways. So, but it should be interesting to see what happens. And obviously, like I said, I mentioned Ruben Hintz. He's questionable for game. He's questionable after his injury in game 2. So I think it'd be big if he's able to play. If I'm him, I'm trying my best to get out there and play, because this is a must win if the Stars. Because going back to Dallas, I know it's your home, but going down 3-1 with easily, I think, the best player in the NHL on the other side, it's going to be a tough hill to climb, especially if you go down 3-1 tonight. But really, other than that, that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to just say this now. I'm going to take a break from the Phillies for a little bit. I'll get back to them once the NHL and NBA is over. But, like, for example, tonight I'll be recording my shorts to reacting to these games that happened tonight. But for now, I'm going to take a break from the Phillies. I'll get back to them once the season is over, or once the season's over for the NHL and the NBA. But other than that, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like I said, enjoy the games tonight, and see you guys later.